And we'll start with the Everett Seagulls and Sydney Riley.
She's a 6-foot senior. Averages about 23.4 points a game.
Not bad.
The only player on the team averaging in double figures, but definitely the focal point of this offense and this team in general. It'll be interesting to see what Everett brings to the table to try to slow her down, but it'll be a good one for her.
Sydney Riley, of course, going to Santa Clara on a scholarship to start her collegiate basketball after this season. Of course, being announced here in the starting lineup tonight. Sydney Taggart, Darian Riley, sister of Sydney Riley, the junior sister. Amber Hagar and Katie Headington at the post, 6'2 and 6'1. On the Jackson Timberwolves side, I think you're talking about Kelly Kingma for Jackson, who is not in the starting lineup for Jackson. Is interestingly enough, Faithaline Lopez Flores, Sierra Anderson, Amari Clinton, Anna Johnson, and Emily Boyd round out the starting lineup for the Jackson Timberwolves. And of course, let's go back to Kelly Kingma, averaging all world numbers from the guard position. Stops, pops, drives the lane, plays tenacious defense, and that's why the University of Washington wants her to come play basketball for them, but strangely not in the starting lineup tonight.
But it's promising for Jackson. They've gone undefeated without her in the lineup, and Faithaline and Sierra have both stepped up and been the leading scorers in the 2 games they've played without her, and it'll be interesting to see how they continue to progress and play as a team. And if they can continue to win games and play without their star player, it'll be just that much better when they come back. And
the only loss for the Timberwolves came back to a loss to the Edmund Woodway Warriors, 78-71, in a game they led by 22 at the half and ended up just unraveling in the final 2 frames of that one to take the loss. And unfortunately for Jackson, a league loss. They'll have a chance to avenge that in January when they face the Warriors once again. They have also a league win in the Cascade Bruins, 82-60 in the last game that they play. They last won Saturday, again without Kelly Kingma, their star player, 59-53 to Auburn Mountain View, a non-league affair. And again, this one here, even though it is a Wesco opponent, it is a 3A opponent in the Seagulls, so this one also will not go down in any determinant to go to districts or how that seeding will play out. The Seagulls 1-0 in conference. They beat Oak Harbor back on the 18th, 75-16, and they are 5-0 overall, and they will win the tip. It's Riley to Riley. Darian, they'll feed the ball underneath. It goes right to Amber Hagar, the 6'2 post for the first 2, and we'll talk more about the Riley sisters here in just a moment. There's Faithaline Flores Lopez, back iron. It draws. And a big rebound by Headington for the Seagulls. Another long lead pass. Darian looking for 2 dimes right off the bat in transition. It's just underway, 7:37 to go here, first quarter. Keith Neely and Corey Sullivan with you. Courtside at Snohomish High School, the Jackson Timberwolves bringing the ball up against man-to-man pressure. It's Boyd. They'll find Sierra Anderson underneath, tries a little razzle-dazzle and ends up walking with the basketball amongst the triple team.
Great defense by Everett, coming out strong, bringing a lot of intensity, and it's looking like a good game so far.
Darian Riley will bring the ball up to Taggart now. Darian into the backcourt and bringing it up, no problem. A nice feed underneath once again to Amber Hagar, who is 2 for 2 down low on that right-hand side. Eating up defenders with a nice drop step to the rack. Here's the runner, right hand, and this is what we were talking about as Amari Clinton hits the deuce, and it is 4-2. This could be a shootout.
It can be.
Of course, with a lot of great shooters and the way that these 2 teams are able to put transition runs together. Faithaline up front has it knocked away by Darian Riley out of bounds, and she will go back and pick up Sierra Anderson on defense. Sierra Anderson, a good defender. Darian Riley right there shows why she's on the court as the junior, a right hand on the steal.
So it's funny that 2 shooting teams, all the points so far in this game have been scored in the paint.
That's right, 8 points, all coming interior. There is Sierra Anderson. She heard you. A 3 ball, down it goes, and it's 6:21. 6-5 the score now. Jackson cuts it to 1. Here's a shot, no good. That was Darian Riley again with the attempt at the three. And here comes Amari Clinton deep into traffic, rolls off her leg. No, yeah, they do say it rolled off her leg. I thought that was correct. As Sydney Riley was about a step away, ready to time the block.
They've been good with the hands on both sides. No fouls so far, and it's a lot different game than what we witnessed our first game today.
Sydney Riley with the turnover. Faithaline Lopez Flores will elevate. No, it's short. Hager with a rebound. Here comes Darian. Long lead pass to sister Sydney, in and out of the hands, and boy, they are looking up court.
It is. That's two long passes by Darian. If she can calm down a little bit and really get going, Everett could take advantage of some of the opportunities Jackson's allowing on the transition points.
She liked the first one. She liked the taste of the first one they got. That dime that was a bullet pass. Here's Anderson step back. Now she'll try to attack along that right-hand baseline, pull it back out. Now in a bit of trouble, draws the defense. And here's the Faithaline Lopez Flores.
A beautiful find. Driving to the lane by Faithalina. High IQ.
That was definitely basketball IQ. Knowing that you've got a player, a teammate in trouble, and you got to come back to the basketball after shedding the defense, and in this case came right back right underneath the basket. Makes it that much better. Not only do you bail out the teammate, but you set yourself up well for an easy high percentage basket.
The broken play looks good.
That's right. Jackson with the lead now. They're first of the ball game, 7-6. Sierra Anderson, long three, no good. Right to Hager. And now another long lead pass taken away right underneath. A good scoop and a good find by Taggart. Great court awareness after the misplay on the another long lead pass by the Seagulls. They want to get out and run.
She is. She's a big fan of that long pass, and luckily that one got through. But I don't know how many more are going to get through if she keeps playing the same way.
Anderson to Clinton, now out to Lopez Flores. Dropped the three, deep corner. She's got 5. And Jackson on top by the deuce now, 10-8. Seagulls bring it up. Taggart back to Darian. There's Sydney. 3 on the way, no good. Right there is Hager to pull it down and put it back up.
She's played awesome in the post so far. A bunch of offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds. She's got 6 points so far, and she's really the focal point of this team right now.
There's another long three. They can do them in bunches. And there's the shot by Anderson. She's got 2 triples so far in the ball game and extends the lead by that much. 3 points. A Jackson 13-10 advantage with a timeout on the floor. And we knew this was going to be a good one, at least on paper, when we walked into the gym. And so far, you've seen a lot of very fast, up and down, quick-paced, high-energy hands, and some really hot shooting, especially out of Sierra Anderson, who's hit 2 threes here just in the last, 4 trips down the court.
Yeah, Jackson's looked real well shooting the ball. Everett's looked good in the post. It'll be interesting to see who steps up on defense, and I think that'll really be what the game relies upon, is who steps up first and who gets more stops when they need it.
One of the keys to the game coming into this was the post play by the Everett Seagulls. We talked to a couple of parents in the know before the ball game started, and they mentioned that the post play for the Seagulls was going to be integral. If the post played well, so did they think their Seagulls would play well. There's a miss and a put back up on the other side. Hager's been everywhere. She's got 3 offensive rebounds along with those 6 points, and she keeps gathering those up. She's going to be scoring in great bunches here in the game. There's a foul call as Headington was mixed up a bit by Emily Boyd, 6'1" junior going against a 6'2" junior. And now we've got our first substitute for Everett as Tanika Wentworth comes into the ball game for the first time. Wentworth, a 5'10" sophomore. And Sydney Riley knocks it clear. There's the entry pass. They get it in low. Push up, no good. And right there to rip it down is Amber.
Again, and great defense by Amber as well. She's all over the place so far. And it's going to be a real good game.
Sister to sister in with that left hand. Can't make it fall. Sydney Riley is without a basket. Now a little shuffle pass here. Anderson with a right-hand runner. Got it. Anderson with 8 points and a timeout, as head coach John Lowe in his 6th season wants to talk through his Everett Seagull.
And Darian took a hard hit. She's checking out of the game for a little bit, and hopefully she's okay.
Julie Ramirez will take her place, 5'8" senior, and Darian blinking and continuing to blink like she may have caught an elbow or a finger to the eye. She's got those big wide eyes staring into the coach to see if she may have something going on in one of them anyway. Now she's rubbing them a bit, so definitely took some contact there, and she'll be replaced, and we'll see what Everett can do without their point guard on the floor. And I'm guessing they'll go right to their sister and let Sydney Riley bring the ball up, and the lefty now will go back over the top to Taggart. Back to Riley, the only Riley in the ball game so far. Taggart with it, left-hand side, deep in the corner. It goes to Ramirez, and that's not clear and out of bounds. But again, trying to find the interior, and Hager has proven she's up for the task so far today.
Yeah, it's obviously great coaching. They haven't put the ball on the floor, no wasted dribbles, and as they drive the lane and get the easy bucket, Everett's playing well.
Riley with the bucket. She's on the board, the leading scorer for the Seagulls offense. Finally shows what she's got, the collegiate skill level at 2:43 to go, and now we've got a foul on the floor. And that will go against Wentworth, her first personal foul and first foul of the game. Been very well officiated, quiet so far. And a long three by Anderson, who's hit 2 triples already today. You're going to have to be careful closing her out.
Yeah, and this is what Everett needs. They need Jackson to miss a couple of jumpers and to key in on their offense as they try to take advantage of some of the opportunities that Jackson gives them.
Riley straight away, can't get the 3-ball to fall. Now we've got a tie up underneath between Taggart and Kingma into the ball game now for the first time. She's out. The leading scorer of the Wesco League is in the ball game now. And now they will check in Emily Kipp, the junior, 5'11" forward. She'll replace Emily Boyd. Kingma, a dangerous threat. We mentioned how people have to close out on Sierra Anderson. As soon as Kingma crosses that line there, that green line of the volleyball court, you're going to have to pick her up. And there's great ball movement, finally hitting Sierra Anderson, who leads all scorers right now with 10 points. And that was all set up because Kingma slowed things down and let the offense start.
Yeah, Everett was ready to double team her right out of the gate, and they answer back with a nice 3-pointer there. But Kingma, you can definitely sense her court presence as Oliver Everett seems to be keying in on her and not really paying attention to their man.
Overplaying her left hand, making her go left, Darian Riley. There's the kick out to Kingma. She's not afraid to shoot the triple, in and out, rattles and finally falls. And Kelly, in about a minute and a half of time, finds pay dirt, and it's a 5-point Jackson lead, 28-15 with $1:18 to go first quarter. Didn't think Kelly was going to play. Has a bit of a flu bug. Hasn't played the last 2 games. Darian now to Hager, and a long short corner or a short corner jump shot. Now into the double team. Finally a timeout call. As Jackson calls timeout, head coach Mark Hayner in his first season. A very heads-up, wise play to maintain possession with a quick 30.
They've been playing great 3-2 defense and really forcing Everett to take what they can get right now, and it's not much. So
a couple of long threes. You got the short corner jump shot. They've almost abandoned the interior play of Amber Hager, and that's a bit of a surprise to me, as well as she's dominated that right-hand side of the paint.
It is, and ever since she hasn't been scoring, it doesn't seem like she's been doing much. She hasn't been active on the boards, and they need to figure out how to get back to her, get her back in the game, because it was going real well when she was doing well for Everett.
It's also interesting, Sydney Riley, of course, taking over the number 1 position on the court, point guard position, after sister Darian Riley left with a bit of an eye injury. Launched a couple of top side 3 balls from straight away. Hit one of them, missed another one, but that can really take your posts out of the picture when they give them that long rebounds and you're taking jump shots from about, 29, 30 feet sometimes out there. Here's Kingma, fakes left, goes right, nice pass underneath. Here's the jump shot. It is in and out. Jackson with the lead. And right now creating a lot of space for themselves within about 10, 12 feet of the hoop. Wentworth brings the ball back out. Over to Darian. Darian feeds Headington. Headington spins in, turns, nothing there. Anna Johnson with the rebound. And here comes Kelly Kingma and the Jackson Timberwolves. They've got 7 seconds on the clock. 4. And that's stolen away by Sydney Riley. She's got 1.8, lets it fly. Back iron. No good, and it is 20-15. There's where we are after one period of play. Thanks for watching STSPN and STSPN.com. After one period, the Everett Seagulls 15, Jackson Timberwolves 20. So after a very quick back and forth start to a ball game that certainly has a lot of star power involved, what are your thoughts on the first quarter, Corey?
I think that Everett's playing real well. They're out of this game only by 5 points. If Darian gets back in, I think they'll have that spark that they need right now. I think they're just trying to find something. Darian was playing real well, hard-nosed basketball. She's playing great defense, seeing the passing lanes, and that's really what hurt her right there. As she ran into one of her teammates. But if she can get back in, get going, I think Everett will be fine.
Talk about how much a game changer Kelly Kingma is. She came in midway through that first quarter, and the lead seemed to immediately flip-flop.
It is, and to watch Jackson when she wasn't in the game, they were real fast-paced and quick, and not with Kingma in, it's not that they're slower or anything, but she slowed down the game, and Everett is definitely more conscious of her being in the game and being around, and I'm real afraid of what she can do and what she might do if leaving the back doors open for Jackson all day long. And it's gonna be tough to stop them if they can't figure out how to man up on her and cover their man across the court as well.
There's a turnaround jump shot, catch and shoot from about 8 feet, and that is a tough shot. And Kelly Kingma puts nothing but net at the end of it. Kingma on the board now, 5 points. Darian falls to the floor. There's a long shot by Wentworth. Hits a back iron in and out. And tied up underneath. Kip finally is able to get rid of it. Forward it goes to Johnson. Perhaps an extra dribble that she didn't need. Kingma well thought to get it clear. Now right back to her right hand. Kelly Kingma.
And it all started with her. She got the ball out to another teammate. Everett was retreating, and they got the ball around. Nice ball movement, great coaching, and she got the ball back with an easy bucket underneath the hoop.
Long 3 ball is good. Darian Riley with 5 points and cuts the lead to 4. Long shot, rebound, and now an offensive putback after a pass by Kick. Kingma turns around and puts it up, and another offensive board. Here's Anderson. She'll reload the offense. Out to Kingma, catch and shoot from beyond the arc.
From deep. That was almost NBA range, I believe.
Not afraid to shoot the ball. I don't think I've seen a Kingma yet that is afraid to shoot the basketball. And now here is Sydney Riley. Can't get the shot to fall, and an offensive rebound by Headington. She's fouled.
I think this would be a perfect time for Everett to call a timeout. I feel like they're playing out of their comfort zone. Kingma's really speeding up the game, forcing them to do some things that maybe they don't exactly want to do. And they should just play their game and continue with the game plan that they had planned for before the start of this.
Emily Kipp with her first personal foul. And a missed free throw by Headington. Sydney Taggart will check in for Sydney Riley. And Headington will attempt the second free throw here. with 6:13 to go, and that one is off the mark. Kip with the rebound. Here's Kingma, has Riley guarding. They were forcing her to her left hand earlier, and now they seem to have abandoned that thought. There's the pass underneath. It goes to Lopez Flores. Kick out is stolen or knocked away by Darian.
And that's really what they were missing at the end of that first quarter, is Darian in there to get those scrappy plays and, to play them tough. And I don't think she has any fouls, but she's played real well. Not out of control, but definitely with high intensity.
Amber Hager back in the ball game for the Seagulls as Kingma puts it on the deck. Dribble drive. That one is an errant air ball. Something you don't see a lot from her. And here's Riley now, dribbles it off her ankle and her knee and out of bounds. And she knew it. Got a little bit out of control, dribbling down that left-hand side. It looked like she wanted to kick the ball, but there wasn't a teammate on that left-hand side. Everybody had cleared out. Here, Kingma underneath has with the swat.
Great block.
And Kingma not small by any stretch of the imagination. 5'9", is not a super tall, at least collegiate guard, but in the high school ranks, it's a decent size. Mm-hmm. And, of course, you got Darian at 5'8". They're both playing like 6'4" underneath there.
It's an exciting matchup to see. They're both
holy smoke.
From deep again.
Now, how does that extended defense? Holy cow. Kelly Kingma with her third triple. In only really a quarter of play, she sat out the majority of the first quarter. And then has come in with a steal, just a couple of shots. There's another steal. She'll attack the rack with her right hand, falls to the deck. And Darian will get her first personal foul on the lay-in attempt by Kingma. Kingma, in a loss against Edmonds Woodway, had 27 points in the first half. So you can definitely see why they want to put the ball in her hands.
It's easy to see how she had 27 too. She's got a great jumper, drives the lane, quick, finds open teammates. It's hard to stop a player like that can do it all.
Riley, Sydney coming in to replace sister Darian. As Kingma, with 5:12 to go, attempts her second of two. She's already hit the first one and bounces that one in. Amari Clinton will check back in and replace Kingma. After the flurry of offensive activity by their star playmaker, puts them up 12 points.
Yeah, that's great coaching. Your star player's not feeling too well to start the game. You build a nice, comfortable lead before the half and give her a chance to sit and regroup.
Sydney Riley has 10, the first Seagull in double figures after the three ball. Cuts into the lead just a bit, 9 points now. Clinton has it swatted away. Hager right there with the rejection.
She got a little smile after that block as well.
He said, come in and give me another one of those. And there's a little backdoor entry pass. Is good. Up and in. Loughnane with two.
See, that's always the negative about a block. It hypes up one side, but, you still get the ball back. You still get a chance to catch the team off guard, and I think that's exactly what Jackson did.
Long three is no good.
Over the back slap by
I'm not entirely sure. We'll see
Everett,
who it is.
10.
He went against number 10 for the Seagulls. That is Carolyn Overstreet into the ball game. Overstreet with her first personal. And there's the steal. Into traffic, right hand, and Riley gets tied up. They say she walked with a basketball. Got tied up with Amari Clinton, who was matching her pace for pace in transition up that left-hand side, and tied it up just enough on the hip of Riley to get the walk call. Here's Anderson, step back, hesitation into the rack with the right hand on the left-hand side. Hager with a rebound.
There she goes.
And we're back into quick action basketball.
Hager's getting into it. She got a block on the possession before, and now she gets a rebound. Looking for it in the post right now, but...
Sydney with the three. Sydney Riley with her third triple. And Kingma brought it on one side. Riley's going to bring it on the other. Sierra Anderson goes right to the rack and scores. And between Anderson and Kingma, all but 2, 4, 6, 9 of the 36 points between those two. There's the shot by Taggart. It's good on the short corner right-hand side.
And that's great for Everett. Some of their shots are finally getting to fall. Their post play has been playing well, and they'll be tough to stop if they can keep their game rounded. Definitely got to play better defense, though.
Anderson made it look easy. She's only 5'6" under there, but has had 2 point-blank range jump shots, and you're going to give a player like that a couple of bunnies, she's going to make you pay.
And there's, like I was talking about earlier, there's Hager, really getting it going. You got the block, the defensive rebound, and then she got the easy bucket right there.
Anderson coming the other way. Can't pick it up. And now we've got a travel call after the offensive rebound by Cassandra Jackson. And that's the turnover that Jackson is trying to avoid. They're very thrifty with the basketball. Do not turn the ball over many times. Of course, we have not seen much for full court pressure by Everett to really test the guards, but that's their hallmark, is their ball handling, their guard play, and they come in with that reputation. There's the bounce pass, Riley to Riley, right up with a left hand, Sydney Riley.
Opening up the court for themselves.
She's a lefty. She likes to play on that side of the court. And, of course, the way the offense starts, most offenses at the high school level, just because of the way kids grow up, generally start on the right-hand side of the key, not Everett. Sierra Anderson tries to find a seam pass to Lopez Flores. Now a long lead pass, dribbled out of bounds. That's tough. Wentworth.
She's definitely kicking herself after that one, an easy layup. But
she rolls her eyes as she walks back down the court. She knew what she had, couldn't get the finish. And now here's that full court pressure, although kind of meek full court pressure. Here's Kingma being guarded by Darian Riley. Stop, got some space, a 3 on the way, no good. Offensive rebound, Clinton dumps it out to Johnson. Here's Anderson now, cross-court Kingma. Being crowded just a little bit by Darian, who's putting a lot more pressure on the senior playmaker for Jackson. Here's Faith Aline, no good. And another rebound after one shot. Everett doing a good job at only allowing 1 or 2 shots on offense for Jackson. There's the shot in traffic. Sydney to the rack, goes left. Can't get it to fall, but she's fouled in traffic.
Yeah, like you were saying, the posts for Everett are definitely not allowing those second chance points and opportunities, and only down 6.
Kelly Kingma with her first personal foul. Sydney drops in a free throw. And in and out, she's got 16 points tonight. Sydney Riley, kick out to Anderson, not afraid to pull the trigger, and it rolls in after rattling around a little bit. And Anderson with her third three-pointer of the afternoon. Here's Darian. Overstreet, back to Darian. Here's Hager now, left-hand side. That's a good-looking move right there. Fake to the left, go to strong to the middle, and lay it in with the left hand. Kingma. Back out to Faith Aline. She'll throw up the 3, no good. She can hit those. Just like Anderson, we've seen Anderson and Kingma kind of come alive with 3s. Lopez Flores can hit them too. Just hasn't warmed up yet. 36 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Darian Riley, 3. No good. Offensive rebound and the foul. Wentworth, Denisha Wentworth, right there at the right time. Got a good hip check underneath to get the offensive foul, and then, or offensive rebound, then his foul will go to the line. Anna Johnson, her first personal foul, the team's 4th. And the free throw is good by Wentworth. She's made her first crack at the score sheet. And make it 2. The shot clock is off. The game clock at 26 seconds. Here's Clinton. Got a lot of daylight. Now kick out to Kingma. Pump fake. And then the stop and pop straight In it goes. You almost know. It's almost surprising it doesn't go in when it doesn't. And now a turnover. Kingma picks it up. And a timeout. Another well-called timeout by head coach Mark Hayner. A 30 with 5.7 seconds to go. And we'll see how he draws it up here. Jackson with the lead by 6, 43-37. And Jackson will have the ball along the deep sideline right in front of the Jackson bench with 5 and change seconds here on the clock before we go into the halftime. What are you calling now? 5 seconds? You can dribble up the court in 5.
It's going to be Kingma all the way. I don't think she's going to give up the ball. Maybe a deep 3. If it goes in, it goes in. If it doesn't, they're up 6.
Do you double team her?
I think you do not. I think that the players, even watching Faith Alina, she hasn't been on her game. It's that superstar effect. When they're on the court, teams tend to have that, sit and watch approach. Hope for the best, hope you get the ball. And I think that they play better without her on the court. Definitely Everett, I think, has had a better half in general. Have more to learn, more to gain than Jackson does.
Sierra Anderson gets the call. Kick out. Faith Aline. Here it is. 3 on the way. With the 3. As drawn up in the huddle. 46-37. And Jackson will head into the locker room with a 9-point lead. And they do it in momentum-gaining fashion, having to travel 5.7 seconds, I think, the length of the court, and then end up having the ball in one of their shooters, Lopez Flores, not wasting a second.
And it looks like I was wrong. The coach played upon the Kingma effect very well.
Decoy?
She was on the other side of the court. All of Everett went over there. Faith Aline on the opposite side, wide open for the 3.
Down it goes, and that is how it'll end here at the half. We've still got a very fun, high, action-packed half to go of girls high school basketball here from Snohomish High School. 46-37, the halftime score. Jackson on top of Everett. And we'll be back on STSPN after the half. Seagulls trailing by 9 to the Jackson Timberwolves, 37-46 in the holiday tournament. And Corey Sullivan, Keith Neely alongside you here. Corey, it's been a fun one to watch so far. Girls basketball at pretty high speed.
It's been great to watch. Here in the second half, I don't think that Everett should change at all. I think that they should keep, pounding away to the inside at their bigs and keep up the pressure from Darian. On the other side, Jackson, they should obviously keep going to Kingma. I really don't have to say that, but looks like she's starting off on the bench here. But I think that could be a blessing in disguise for them. They can figure out how to move the ball and to stay in the game without her in the game, but also they need to figure out how to move around and to not watch just her play when she is in the game.
Faith Elaine Lopez Flores with a pass over the top from Sierra Anderson. Can't find the handle. It goes out of bounds, and a turnover on the first Jackson possession. Sierra Anderson leads all scorers with 17 points for Jackson. And she did it largely in the absence of Kelly Kingma, who comes off the bench after about a quarter sitting down. And she has 16 herself. Beautiful shot by Sydney Taggart from the right-hand baseline. She's got 6 on the evening. And Everett cuts the lead now to 7.
Looked like it went off her foot right there.
Sure did. And the crowd,
Sierra Anderson, but
crowd wants to let them have it too. They want to let them know. There's the shot.
It was a tough position to see from where the ref was standing. I will give him that.
Emily Boyd with her first points of the ball game puts it back to a 9-point Jackson advantage. Alley-oop pass. Sister to sister, and Sydney can't make the finish after the reverse lay-in. Here comes Clinton and the T-Wolves. 7:09 to go third quarter. Hesitation. Here's Anderson. Thought about the long three. Gets around Darian to the rack. No good. Sydney Riley with the rip and the rebound. She'll bring it up. Here's Darian. Has plenty of space. 3 on the way. No. And Taggart gave chase, but it goes out of bounds. And Jackson will get the ball back. And these two teams have certainly put on a shooting clinic. And it hasn't been from necessarily the entire roster of either team, but Anderson and Kelly Kingma, along with a couple of threes from Lopez Flores, show you can shoot from downtown. Here's Clinton to the rack, blocked. No, they say a foul by Sydney Taggart.
I think even she's surprised that she got the foul call.
And Clinton will go to the free throw line. Taggart looks down and shakes her head just a little bit after the foul call. And Sydney Riley, of course, shooting the ball extremely well. Has 16 on the night. And Amber Hager, who had the first, I believe, 6 points of the Everett field goals, and now has 10. And they've really gone away from her after having great success early on first quarter. There's Hager. Cross corner to Taggart. Skip pass, handoff, and traffic, and Sydney Riley is fouled, heading in with that left hand. Strong to the left.
Great job drawing the foul. Capitalized on the help side not being there, and now she's at the line shooting too.
Got into double team. It wasn't like she was a clear path to the hoop. Drew the double team, but was able to split it and draw the foul. Misses the first free throw. Second one makes it an 8-point Jackson lead. Anna Johnson has 2 personal fouls. She was the one that tagged Riley on the elbow. And now an offensive foul call on Sierra Anderson going through the backside of the key. Caught the elbow. And now they say against Anna Johnson, that'll be her third. I thought it was against Sierra, who got bumped and tied up just a little bit going along the baseline. But it was the screen set by Anna Johnson that got the foul call. 6:07 to go third quarter, 48-40. Haggart back to Riley. Darian will try the three. Spun it in. Had a little English on it, but got it to fall. And Riley's got 8. Lopez Flores had some space there. I'm surprised she didn't pull the trigger. She had the hot hand, hit the dagger there at the end of the half. Anderson right to the rack. Got it deep into the well, but couldn't finish. Here comes Riley. Right hand yo-yo dribble, gives off to her sister. And Sydney now being guarded by Clinton tries to force the bullet pass into Headington, and Headington was backing down Boyd and didn't really have the leverage in order to spring out and get the ball. 5:27 to go third quarter. Faith Aline now to Anderson. Sierra has Darian Riley, very good defender, guarding right now. Riley, Darian is the one that drew Kingma's number when she's in. There's the three on the way, no. Darian and his sister Sydney, left hand in traffic, got it off the back of the cup and falls. Little acrobatic, went off her wrong foot, but was able to get the left hand over the top of the defense. And she has 19 points now, game high. And a tie-up on the other end will go back to the Seagulls. And now, only down 3, Everett has a chance to get right back in.
Yeah, they've played great defense so far. They haven't allowed the back door. They definitely have shut that down. They've let a couple get by, some easy drive-bys, but haven't required help, and that's the key to good defense, is not requiring help.
How long, if you're Mark Hanner, do you let Kelly Kingma sit on the bench?
He just called a timeout. I believe she'll be coming in right now. But
I didn't see who hit that last bucket. Darian Riley, they're saying, hit the bucket. It's a 2. She's got 10 points and makes it a 1-point ball game. And a little bit of defense here and there, a little pressure underneath. Without your star on the floor, if you're Jackson, you've kind of come, not, I wouldn't say unraveled. It's not like the game's gotten away from them, but they're certainly without the focus right now.
I think that we're seeing that Everett has played a better overall game than Jackson has. They get the second chance points, they get the lane, they get their shots up, and Jackson's not getting those second chance points in the buckets, the long ball or anything to fall for him. So kudos to Everett for really coming to play and taking advantage of all the opportunities that Jackson's given them.
48-47. Jackson with a 1-point lead here with 4:34 to go third quarter. And Kelly Kingma still on the bench for the Timberwolves after being seated down with the flu the last couple of games. So being doled out minutes sparsely here, but she's done great damage in the minutes that she has had. 16 points so far for the game. And then a collision between Lopez Flores and Darian Riley, and Riley helps her up. Kick out now. Clinton with a hesitation. Tries to go up with a left hand, blocked by Riley. And now to the deck. They call jump ball finally as things get a little bit physical between Riley and Clinton. Riley had her wrapped around, had a good handle on the ball. Clinton tried to just pull it back. There's a Anderson 3. No good. Clinton with the offensive rebound and the kick out. Anderson will just slow things down for Jackson with 4:07 to go and reload the offense. There's Faith Aline. There's the shot. 3 straight away. No good. Finally controlled by Everett.
Shots just are not falling for Jackson.
Sometimes you have days like that. You're going to have to find the hot hand. Here goes Riley in with the left, up with the right. No good. A foul call. Headington had the offensive rebound and put back had the foul not been called. And that will go against Anna Johnson, I believe, her 4th personal foul.
Here comes Kingma, right on cue.
So now it'll be interesting to see if John Lowe goes back to Amber Hager without Anna Johnson at 5'11" down there, who has been largely guarding Hager, if they go back to that. So Johnson will leave. Kingma comes in. Headington takes a seat and gets some water for Everett as Riley hits the free throws. 48-48. 3:42 to go. There's Kingma trying to spot up. And almost as a decoy. Here's Anderson, got in a bit of trouble and finally knocks it off a body and out of bounds. She didn't hit Darian, but hit the floor, the sideline or the baseline there, and it's a turnover.
It does kind of seem like Jackson's starting to unravel here. Their shots aren't falling. They're kind of pressing themselves, and Everett's playing the same game that they played in the first half.
Darian Riley now to Sydney Riley. Has Anderson guarding. A big screen out top by Hager. And now Kelly Kingma shows some defense, and she puts the foul on Wentworth. Kingma's second personal foul. The team now with 4 fouls, 4 fouls to 1. Everett playing great defense and being thrifty. Only 1 foul. And now Darian Riley loses the handle, struggled just a little bit. Now she'll be whistled for the foul, trying to play defense on Faith Aline as the offense was underway. Darian's second. 3:07 to go third quarter, and things have gotten a little bit wily here.
It's a little physical. I like it. Reminds me of a boys' game.
A little bit. Not a lot of talking. That would be the one difference.
But definitely high intensity, playing fast, sound, good fundamental basketball. Not too many turnovers. And
I think they found something on the Everett guards now as Clinton is pressing Darian Riley to go right. There's the runner, right-hand side, no good. Clinton with the rebound. They're not missing Johnson so far, as Clinton has come up with a lot of rebounds. Kick out to Kingma, 3, got it.
That's one person you can't switch man on. You can't leave her open to try to double team somebody else.
51-48. Jackson with the 3-point lead as Kingma hits her first here in the half. And now Sydney Riley wants to go left, kicks it out to sister Darian for 3. Got it! Darian Riley with the third 3-ball of the evening. Ties the game at 51 with 2 minutes to go third quarter. Kingma dumps it into Clinton. Now a long pass out. There's the 3, no good. Had Riley running. And now a turnover. Sydney Riley to Wentworth. No offensive rebound. Commissioner Wentworth, packing the stats, gets the foul and goes to the line.
Working on her double-double.
That's Clinton's first foul and the 5th on the team. Jackson will substitute here after the free throw. That one will be short. And here comes Clinton. Boom. Right in the face of Sydney Riley, like she was going to do that come.
Not my favorite fast break pull-up jumper, but it goes in and it tied it up.
And they are now forcing Riley to the right. There's the kick out. Taggart tries to make some space. Back to Riley. Dumps it over the top, or tries to anyway, to get to Headington. Now here comes Jackson with 1:23 to go. And a walk as they push the ball to Anderson, who is not ready to accept the pass.
Everett is keeping Jackson out of their comfort zone. They started off the game pretty quickly, but, you know, Everett's sound play has slowed them down a little bit. And
Loughnane will check in, replacing Clinton for the T-Wolves. Darian Riley to Taggart. Taggart finding herself out top a lot more here in this rendition of the offense. Here's Riley, has Kingma on her. Now she'll stop for the 3. With the 4th triple.
She has played amazing today. Watching her versus Kingma has been a great matchup. Right on cue as Kingma knocks in a mid-range from on top of the key.
When you look at who she was looking at as soon as she made that shot. And now the other way, no good. Everett had a chance to extend the lead, and now Kingma, hesitation dribble, gets around to the cup. No. Rebound Everett. They've got 26 seconds to go. Here is Sydney Riley to the rack. Gets her offensive rebound, then shoved out of bounds by Jackson. It'll remain Seagulls basketball. 19.7 seconds to go. Darian Riley has been everything for Everett here in the second half.
She has, and that spark is exactly what they need to continue to stay in this game. 12
points in the second half for Riley as Sydney Riley tries to force something up, and now quickly back on offense. Here comes Anderson. Spins into the double team. Gets a left-hand scoop shot. See Anderson. Sierra on the board now. 3 seconds to go. Here is Darian.
It was an exciting game.
58-57. Exciting is right. Corey, it's been a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but for Everett, certainly you've got to look at number 20 on the roster. Darian Riley has just really done everything, brought the energy, played the defense, and scored the baskets here for Everett.
She's taken on the role of her sister in the second half here, and they played great.
14 points in the second half, 19 points for the game. And only Sierra Anderson, actually no, Kelly Kingma now has 21 points to lead all scorers. But boy, if you look at Anderson, Kingma, both the Rileys, Amber Hager still with double figures with 10. Back and forth it goes. So what's the key entering the fourth quarter? Let's start with Everett.
It was their halftime adjustments. It looks like they came out of the gate ready to play defense, forcing Jackson to continue to take jump shots. And you're not going to make every jump shot. A jump shot's a lot harder to make than a layup. And keeping them out of the lane, their bigs are playing big, and Jackson's frustrating themselves with their shot selection and the turnovers. So, like I said earlier, as long as Everett continues to play their game and continue with their game plan through the rest of this, I think that they have a great chance of winning this one as they start the fourth up 1.
Jackson only down 1, definitely in it. And they've got Kelly Kingma in the ball game. What's the key for them to try to get the W here the rest of the way?
It looks like just to ride your starter. She's played phenomenal. She's unstoppable. But
Hager with the turn on the entry pass from Hennington.
They're definitely going to have to rely on her down the stretch if they're going to come back and at least just stay in this game.
There's the step back from downtown, Kelly Kingma.
Now that was from NBA range.
Stops off about the blue line. I don't even know how many feet that is. That's a past my level. No. There's the spin in, and answering is Katie Hennington on the board for the first time in the ball game. 62-60. Everett with the lead. Faith Aline almost had it stolen by Darian. Sierra Anderson stops. Has it taken away by Sydney Riley. Here's Anderson. Nope. Back to Kingma. Kingma for a long stop. No, in and out. Rebound Wentworth.
You see, and there's Everett playing to their strength. That on their side of the court, they got the easy bucket, and they forced Kingma to take a 30-footer that she can hit, but she's not going to make every single one of them. It's a difficult shot to make, and they have a great game plan going into this one.
Darian Riley saw some daylight, put the gas pedal down, and headed in for the left hand. Is fouled, and a chance to extend the lead now. That foul against Anderson, her first personal. Everett is in the bonus the rest of the way as Darian hits the free throw. And dribbles in the second one. 16 points in the second half. 21 for Darian Riley. Her sister has 19. Long three, rattled in and out. Anderson couldn't get it to fall.
This is kind of what I feared for Jackson is, they watch Kingma play, and then, when they need the rest of their team to step up, they're not warmed up. They're not comfortable yet with the game and the flow of it.
Misplayed drive by Darian Riley. Hands it right back to Lopez Flores, who makes her pay on the right-hand side of the paint.
Great defense. I don't know why she brought her hands down to try to get that block, but she definitely had great defense going into that, and
Riley's third personal foul as Faith Aline steps to the line. She's got 8 so far tonight. Make that 9. Lopez Flores, kind of the tertiary player on this Jackson team, can score in bunches, but when you've got Anderson and Kingma ahead of you, sometimes it's hard to find your role.
Yeah, she's a player that just needs to warm up and get her little hot streak going. But right now, it's tough, especially with Kingma on the court. She demands a high shot percentage, and if those aren't going to some of the other players that outside of that, if they're not scoring, it'll be tough.
Darian with her second turnover in as many trips. That one trying to get to the interior on a long pass, a skip pass through the key, and now only down 2. Jackson has a chance to tie or go ahead with 6 minutes to go. Anderson looking for Kingma, who's posting up underneath.
Yeah,
Faith Aline, step back, pull up, no. Here comes Sydney Riley. Almost fouled, and she is fouled by Kingma. That'll be Kingma's third.
And that was a good foul.
But it's 101. The bonus is in effect. And Sydney Riley will go to the free throw line to try to advance the lead past 2.
Only her third foul. It was going to be an easy bucket for Everett. So, putting them at the line, forcing them to earn the 2 is for the best.
Hits the sweet spot of the net on the first one. Nice high arc. You notice that even on the threes, Sydney Riley puts it up there in oxygen territory.
Yeah, the Rileys are playing real well, both of them, and have really led this team to where it is right now.
In and out, and a foul against Amber Hager. Almost frustration that she wasn't able to get the rebound that bounced right in front of her. That's only her first. And well away from the bonus are the Everett Seagulls, only the 4th team foul. 5:44 to go now. Kingma has Sydney Riley guarding. Faith Aline back to Jackson and Kingma. Now a feed underneath to Jackson from Jackson, who loses it out of bounds. And a great give and go, and if Jackson's aware underneath there, she just picks up the basketball and lays it in, but I don't think she saw who she had around her. And getting up off the bench is Anna Johnson, who will probably replace Jackson at the break. There's great defense by Anderson. Anderson has Riley now on her heels to the rack with the left hand. No. Haggard with the rebound. Not stolen away. Faith Aline straight away. 12-footer dribbles it in. Lopez with 12 points today. There's the long lead pass to the rack right hand. No good. Jackson with the rebound and the foul called. And if this is against... Well, it won't be. If it's against Amber, she's only got 2. Actually 3. That's her third foul. Now Anna Johnson will come in, replacing Jackson. Taggart will come in for Headington for the Seagulls. 4:55 to go. Everett, a 1-point advantage over Jackson in a game that has been circled on the calendar for a lot of people. This has been talked about for a while. And there's the Anderson push on the left-hand side, up and over 2 Everett Seagulls to get the lead back for Jackson. Sydney Riley. Haggard. Kick out to Darian. Darian has Faith Aline guarding, and with the right hand, the runner on the floor. Foul called. Lopez Flores will be her first personal foul, and Darian to the line. It gets a little interesting now. Free throws matter. I mean, they matter at any point in time, but boy, when you get down to the crunch time, Everett has been very effective from the line so far today.
And you didn't jinx him this time.
I didn't.
Well, knock on wood. The second one's coming up next.
Riley with 4. Darian Riley, 4 free throws today. Ties it up 66. Second one also good. Everett will take a timeout. And we'll take a timeout ourselves. 67-66. The Everett Seagulls on top of the Jackson Timberwolves with 4:25 to go. You're watching the Snohomish Times Sports Network, STSPN.com. Anything you want to talk about coming out? game. The Jackson Timberwolves take the leather. Down by 1, 67-66 with 4:25 to go in the ball game. Into man-to-man defense go the Everett Seagulls as Kelly Kingma now passes off to Anderson, being guarded by Darian Riley. Faith Aline with the push by Everett, and the foul, I think that will go against Darian Riley. We'll see also there was Wentworth. Tanisha Wentworth will get her second personal foul. The next foul for Everett will put Jackson in the bonus. There's the turnover, and no, rolled out. Faith Aline picks it up. Jackson throws. And takes a 2-point lead. Jackson 69-67, 4 minutes to play. And a tie-up on the entry pass as Kingma got two hands on the ball with Katie Hennington. Both fall to the deck. Jackson will get the jump ball. So the arrow goes back to Everett. Jackson only one timeout left to Everett's 3. We'll see how that plays out here in the final 3:40. Steal. Here comes Darian. Riley with a hesitation dribble. Dribbles to the right. Now goes up to the glass. Tipped and out of bounds. Had a good look at the lane.
They just need to slow it down, let their game come to them, and continue playing the game that they've played all game.
One of the few times that Everett's been down in this ball game. There's the bounce pass into Hager. Tries to force one up, and it's ripped down. Locknane.
Darian gets the ball back for him.
And that is frustration that does you well. Darian obviously very frustrated. They weren't able to get the score there on an easy entry pass that she made. Comes right back out and gets the steal. Sister Sydney up with that left-hand runner off the glass. Sister to sister, Riley and Riley both instrumental in this ball game. It's tied up at 69 with 3:19 to go. Anderson, bounce pass underneath, thrown up. They say last touched by Sydney Riley. And Kingma lucky that the ball didn't go back to Everett. I think tried to flop just a little bit. There didn't look like too much contact between Sydney Riley and herself. But now they're definitely pushing and shoving a little bit. Anderson with a walk. She had the room, got big eyes, and didn't know what to do with the ball.
A big possession coming up here for Everett, seeing if they can capitalize. 3 minutes left.
Sydney Riley will bring it up. Guarded man-to-man by Sierra Anderson. Now to Darian Riley. Being guarded by Locknane. Being forced to the left hand. And then a walk and a scoop shot. That was a little interesting.
That was good defense.
Now comes back in out of bounds and almost picks it off. Now a 3-on-2 break. Faith Aline in traffic. Here's Kingma. Dribble drive. Short corner. Kick back out to Faith Aline. 2-point lead. Jackson 71-69. And now every possession is important. Comes down when you've had the lead a long time and it's back and forth and back and forth. The possessions just grow and grow and grow. And there's an offensive foul by Sydney Riley shoving off, trying to get around the screen. That'll be her first personal foul, but it's a big turnover for the Everett Seagulls.
They needed that possession right there, so now they need a big stop and something to work on the offensive end for them.
2:29 left in the ball game. Jackson with the lead and the ball. Anderson on that left-hand side. Kingma on the right-hand side. Here's Faith. Those are the three you got to look at. Lopez Flores turns it over.
3-on-1.
Right hand. Score. Foul.
No.
Got the easy lane.
I don't
and
think
ties it up.
Ask for a possession better than that. They got the steal on one end, a 3-on-1. The dribbler kept it, got the and one, and
Wentworth 2 for 3 from the free throw line tonight. She's got 6 points for the Seagulls and drops in the and one, and it's back to a 1-point Everett lead. Quick on the advance. Here's Kingma into traffic, goes up left. Foul call. And that may be the fourth on Amber Hager. She's going to have to be very careful underneath the remainder of the 2 minutes here in this ball game. She's got 4.
And hope it doesn't go into overtime.
Kingman to the line. And Haggart fouls out. They say fouled out of the ball game. I've got her for 4. The official book has her for 5. So Headington will have to come back in. Haggart exits the game with 12 points tonight. Kingma ties it up, 72 all. Boom. It's a 1-point Jackson lead with 2 minutes to play. What is Everett going to do to respond? Here is Sydney Riley, out to Darian Riley. Back to Sydney, stops, gathers herself, and sets the offense with that left hand. Now out to Taggart, who has Kingma guarding. Backside, they're trying to find the big. Not there. Darian right there for the possession and puts it up. Darian Riley. 74-73 Everett with 1:30 to go. Here we go. Jackson with the ball. Faithaline underneath. Got the mismatch, went over the top on a quick backdoor to Lopez Flores, who had 8 points to end the first half, and already tonight has 11 in the second. Make that 12. 20 points for Faithaline Lopez Flores, and most importantly, a 2-point Jackson lead here with 1:20 to go. Sydney back to Darian. A double team in Sydney Riley. There's the shot off the glass, dribbles around, no good. Rebound Jackson. And wisely slowing down the basketball is Kelly Kingma. Almost stolen away. Loughnane lost the basketball. Now a timeout. John Lowe wants to talk things over after a quick possession. I think had he not called it, it was a deuce.
Yeah, but
he had the numbers.
He's shooting himself in the foot for that one, but you know he has a chance. 29 seconds left on the shot clock to draw up a play and to get a good one.
It's probably a one possession game for both teams. How do you play it? You got 29 seconds on the shot clock, 55 seconds on the game clock. So even if you run it down the entire way and get the basket, you've tied it up and let Jackson have the remaining 20.
I think you score fast. Control. I think you want to score fast, especially with the way that your team is playing. Their set offense hasn't been the best. They've been better when they've been, I wouldn't say out of control, but when Darian's at the helm and driving and dishing to the open man, they've played the best. So I think a quick score here, hopefully tie the game up, and then force Jackson's hand to give you the last shot in the game.
Jackson goes into a zone defense for the first time tonight and almost has it stolen away. It'll be 18 seconds on the shot clock, 44 in the game clock when Everett inbounds. What a ball game. Darian with the basketball. 15 on the shot clock. She'll step right into a three straight away, left it short. Rebound, Everett. Haggart tries the shot, no good. Kingma pulls down the rebound with 30 seconds. There's a 2-second differential between the game and the shot clock. And you should see fouls here. 22. Sydney Riley. Now to Anderson. Anderson dribble drives, and now a foul call. That will be against Darian, her fourth.
I think they might have waited too long to foul. I mean, I understand you want to get the ball out of Kingma's hands first, but they should have fouled about 10 seconds ago.
Jackson with a 2-point lead, 76-74. Sierra Anderson at the line with 12.7 seconds to go. Hits the first one. (77-74). Got them both. Big time free throws from your senior, Sierra Anderson. And now, head coach John Lowe will have to come up with something extremely quick. It's definitely a two-possession ball game for Everett now, down by 4. What do you do in 12-7?
I would like to say you drive down and try to take the 3, but they haven't really taken that many threes. They're not really that comfortable. I think a quick drive down the court, an easy layup, and then right into a press is the best-case scenario for Everett right now.
Everett has been looking to try to feed the interior up until the last basket. Their attempt by Darian, who was straight away 3, was not a bad shot, one that she's hit tonight. But trying to get the ball up and over the top to try to utilize some inside work has not nearly benefited as much as the outside game for Everett, even though I know the inside game's been their emphasis. With 12.7, you almost have to rely now on your outside shooting, don't you?
And that's the worst thing that you can do is I don't think that they've really warmed up. They're not really comfortable with that shot right now, and we'll see what coach called up in that timeout.
So Everett will inbound the ball underneath the Jackson basket. Bring it into Darian Riley, who acts like she doesn't realize there's only 9 seconds to go on the clock. Into sister Sydney, has to retreat, puts up the right hand, no good. There's the putback, also no good. And Jackson will come away with a win. An emotional ball game, a tough one to lose if you're Everett, having led almost down to the last minute and a half of this one. And Jackson ekes out the W, 74-78.
It's a tough loss, first loss of the season. Tough pill to swallow, but definitely a learning experience. Definitely a game of education on clock management towards the end of there, and it was a rough one for them.
If you told me that both teams were going to be in the 70s and the high 70s in this one, I would say that the advantage was definitely Jackson's heading in. But now that I've seen Everett, I see what the Riley sisters can do. I see how they play. High 70s for them on a regular basis is probably not out of the question.
No, they definitely played up to their challenge. It was a great game. I hope to see teams like this again. And they really learned, I think, both teams, that Jackson how to play without their superstar and to still maintain that high-octane offense, and for Everett to control a game and to play teams that have high-octane offenses and high scores like Kingma was tonight.
Speaking of Kingma, if we add them up, 16 points at the half, and then she had, 26 points. Kind of slowed down a little bit in the second half, but shoot, 26 points right at her average. I believe you had that leading the Wesco with 23.4, so definitely right there at her average, and she didn't play the high minutes that you're used to seeing.
Oh, yeah.